Wait, where the heck am I? Oh, hey Yoda.
Oh, hey, Millie.
Oh, hello.
Hello,
Where
I'm Harold.
where in the world am I? Why are we in a schoolroom?
Hey everyone, sorry I'm late. We have a new person today. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Is that me? I'm
Yep.
Millie. Hello. Where am I?
Hello. So,
Hello.
we are going to be doing an archaeology challenge.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, let me give you some quick rules for this challenge. Number 1, no collaboration. So don't go and talk to each other or go to each other's sites. Everything needs to be semi-realistic. So, maybe don't go into spectator mode and look under the ground. Once you are to where you are at, you will be within 100 blocks of the ruins. Please ignore all wool blocks, because that's kind of how I built the thing, so I might have missed a few. You will excavate the site, you will rebuild it the way you think it should look, and you will interpret it.
Nice.
At the end of building it, you will give me a tour, and I will grade you how well you've done.
Oh no, great.
we're being graded on this.
I'm taking
gonna
a test.
fail.
How do I get out of here?
It is a school.
There's no escape.
Oh no.
So, to give you an idea of what I'm going to be grading you on, it's going to be on 4 criteria. One is going to be the site completion. So, if you were to, if you've adequately excavated the entire thing, the footprint of the site, or of the buildings, I should say, and the layout of those buildings. So, that's different. Those are 2 different things. Footprint would be, of course, the shape. So, if it's a big, giant, empty rectangle versus a rectangular hotel, obviously those are 2 different things.
Okay.
And the final thing is materials. If you get the materials correct, I will of course give an extra point to whomever gets the interpretation the closest.
Oh.
So, does everybody understand this challenge?
Yes, and once we're done, we get released, right?
We do get to go back home to our own servers, right?
Absolutely.
Can
Does
I
anybody
keep
have
this,
any?
Can I keep
Oh.
this outfit though? This is pretty cool.
Oh.
Sure.
Oh,
yeah,
I have
yeah,
a cool outfit too. Neat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Does anybody have any questions for me?
I think so.
I think it sounds like a great idea.
Yeah,
I
this
do
sounds
too.
awesome.
Yeah. No questions?
No, I don't have any
Great.
questions.
No, I don't think so.
See ya.
Whoa. Oh, hello. Where the heck? Why am I in a village house? This is weird. Where am I? He said I have to find... Oh, there's a pink sheep over there. Said we have to find where this thing is, and it's supposed to be nearby somewhere within 100 blocks. Oh, hello! Actually, maybe I should explain what's going on here. This is Daskalos' world. If you haven't subscribed, I'm gonna put his link up and down in the doobly-doo, and there's his name and stuff. I am in a very cool rogue explorer archaeologist skin today because we are supposed to be redoing a ruin somewhere, which I'm gonna have to find. He says it's within 100 blocks and probably mostly buried. And then I have to somehow recreate this thing. I'm thinking we're going to be looking for anything that is out of the ordinary. I mean, that village there is kind of out of the ordinary too, but I don't think that seems natural, honestly. Aha! Thought so. This train. I've been playing Minecraft for a few years now, past the archaeology update, and that doesn't look necessarily all that natural either, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. But these calcite blocks definitely look like they have something to do with it, so we have to figure out how to bury this thing from what little archaeology information I know. I'm at a disadvantage. So Harald, who you saw in the class, he has his own channel. Again, his link is in the doobly-doo too. he is kind of a retired archaeologist, so he's had some like actually official training. Oda's been working with Daskalos for like a year or so now, so he also has an advantage just from how Daskalos thinks. And then there's me. There's me. I took a college course in archaeology, and I've watched some TV shows. So we're gonna be going very base level here. Yeah, so I think this is it. So we've been given rights to being creative, but we can also be very, very careful with how we do this. And I've got to unbury this build, and I have to be able to recreate what this is, and those don't look natural either, so those are probably going to be a hint. So I'm thinking if I kind of just look around this area, there was a village nearby, so we're going to assume that this is maybe part of the village. And yeah, I think I just need to start unburying this just like I would with the trail ruins or an ancient city, get kind of an idea of what this is and like what is left over, and then we can start gathering supplies and see what I can find. I'm looking forward to this. So let's get started. I think I'm gonna put we don't have day and night cycles here, we won't have rain, so that's awesome. So I think what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna go into survival mode and get some basic tools so I don't mess up anything. Probably put some chests down and collect all of the blocks that are left over, just so that I have a good place to kind of store and, you know, use those resources later. And also so I don't accidentally break something that exists in the world. So I'm pretty sure that's it. I've never seen calcite on the surface that's not on a mountain, so I think this is where we're going to start. Set down some chests. We're gonna go into survival mode. We don't have to worry about food or anything like that. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't damaging or destroying any blocks that exist in the world that aren't supposed to be there. So let's take down this. Just gonna kind of dig out around this weird calcite structure. We might have to take some trees down too. Just like with a trail ruins, this could be very small or it could be very, very large. Daskalos said we had as much time as we needed to take to be able to do these. And that he was going to give us as much... Oh, that's an interesting... Oh, hello. House slab. He said not only were we going to have as much time as it took, we would be able to make as many videos as we needed. I'm not sure how long this is going to take for me, or how long I'll be able to take on it. It's a very unique challenge, so I don't want to screw this up. I've never been challenged like this before. I've done some trail ruins stuff in the past. To be similar to it, but completely different. We're not talking about actual trail ruins here. So there's gravel, dirt. Let's go out a little bit further, see if we can find more of this gravel. And then when I get completely done with it, Daskalos is going to come and grade my ideas. Put it onto page basically, and decide whether or not I am an archaeological absolute noob or not, which I totally am. Okay, there's more gravel down here. I think make it like fairly obvious, just like in a trail ruin. So okay, there's some more of this calcite right in here. Let's see how far back in this goes. Because I'm already seeing kind of an outline shape right there, which is really cool. That's a pretty neat thing. You know what this calls for? Digging fast mode. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Where I'm gonna do, I'm gonna dig down to this gravel layer in replay and see how far we can get. Oh, ooh, and I'm gonna need lots more shovels than this. All right, let's start building fast mode or digging fast mode. Yeah, uncovering fast mode. I'm not sure if those time lapses were all that enjoyable because I was just digging dirt, but I honestly kind of enjoyed the process of uncovering all of this gravel and the occasional special block now and then telling me I was in the right direction. So some of this packed mud, and then I think I found, what did I find over here? I found a furnace or something over here. So definitely was going in the right direction. So basically I'm coming upon this whole project as a Minecrafter, just as if I'm looking for a trail ruins. And as part of the trail ruin thing, I haven't actually done that in a video before, but what I have done in the past when I've come across the trail ruins is do it very methodically and uncover what I can find. Now, obviously, there's this big structure, whatever it is, and then I would look for some patterns. So for me, finding all of this gravel was kind of an unusual thing, because yes, we can find gravel when we're digging out a hill, but normally we'll come across a stone or something 3 or 4 blocks down, and there was gravel. So it does seem to be laid out, and I'll show you the maps here in a second. I have made maps for this initial dig. So the very first step here, I wanted to uncover all of the gravel, so I dug down to that, and then we started looking at some of the structures that are left. And this one has a gold block in it, which is really cool. So something high importance probably was there. I'm not sure whether or not the basalt here was something special, but it's only in this section, so that's something we've got to keep an eye out as we're doing this. The basalt, there are some suspicious gravel, and I'm not sure if they'll be diggable or not. So we're using our brush or something, so we'll test that here in a minute. But we have this structure here, which has some of these deep slate tiles. There's this one, which is built with the same material, so very possibly we're the same kind of structure, I'm not sure. And maybe this one's a single structure, I'm not sure, it could be 3. I don't know yet. Let's take a look. So, and then we have all of these others, so I do need to continue taking this mountain down, and I've gone through a lot of shovels. One thing that I recall from some of the shows that I've watched, because I'm not an archaeologist, but I have watched shows on archaeology, is that when you take the gravel and you take all of this dirt out, you're going to keep it and you might sift for interesting things like pottery shards and bones and arrowheads and all that stuff. So I did keep all the dirt that came out of it, even though in Minecraft we aren't going to be actually using it, but I did keep it in case we were to do that. And then I kept flowers and plants and my backup shovels. I've gone through a lot of shovels so far. And then I made a map. So this is a map of our main area that we've found so far. And this actually gives us a lot better idea, I think, of what this area might be, or at least the shape of the area, a lot better than just kind of looking on it. To be able to look down on it, this and these two structures, they definitely look like they're separate structures from here. But there also is something larger, like there's a shape of a structure. So as we dig down, hopefully we'll find some more blocks to lead us in the right direction. But there appears to be maybe like individual, like a structure there, a structure here, maybe a larger, couple bigger structures. This is really cool. So I'm gonna take it down. I'm not gonna make you sit through another time lapse because I understand that digging dirt is not nearly as interesting as looking and seeing these things. This is what you probably wanted to see more than anything. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take at least another layer or two down around the gravel. I'm gonna leave the gravel in place for now. Just because I don't know whether or not this represents the structures themselves or it represents just the fact that something is buried underneath them. So I do want to keep that in place for now. And then we'll come back and see what this all looks like afterward and see what blocks I uncover. If I come down and it's sort of like this with the suspicious gravel and there's like actual real blocks below it that don't make any sense to have the gravel on top, I'll probably get rid of that. So let's go. It's gonna take like 5 seconds in your time, like a second. It's going to be a second for you, but for me it's going to be probably a couple hours. And if this were a real dig, this would probably be, you know, weeks at a time trying to get all this unburied. If this had been an area where we were having construction, say in a real life setting, and there was construction and a bulldozer came through, I'm kind of thinking that I've got it down to the point where a bulldozer would have come through and all of a sudden they hit this hill and they hit this stuff, and then the archaeologists have managed to like stop the construction so that they could investigate the site before actual construction went on. So that's where we're at right now. And then we'll see what else we can find under here. As I said, I found a couple like packed mud and some other structure blocks. So I'm hoping underneath this gravel, we're going to find more. Well, I think it's very apparent that the gravel does not outline the actual city. I think I'm going to have to take the gravel out next. Now, something I do know about watching, you know, shows about archaeology and geology and stuff is that as time goes by, sentiment and dirt build up, blown in by the winds, created by the grass and foliage breaking down over time during each winter and spring cycle, and eventually it just sort of piles up and makes new dirt and new gravel. Now, I did go down into here a little bit and got rid of some of the dirt, but we can get rid of a little bit more of this to kind of get down in here even further. I'm not sure whether this is the ground or whether there's something else underneath it. So we might have to eventually lift up some of these tiles. I'm going to take a little bit of this gravel off too. But as time goes by, you have the dirt, and then the dirt gets compacted, and then that becomes probably the gravel in this case. So we're probably going to have to take out the gravel next and see if we can uncover any more like buildings out underneath, or at least bits and pieces out underneath this gravel. Because I already know that there's way more. See, there's diorite under here, and there's... Ooh, I'm not sure. Like, something else has fallen. I don't know why there's a gap here, so we might have to investigate that. whether that would be considered a doorway. And look what else I found. There's diorite here, there's soul sand, there's glowstone, and there's a chest, and of course a beautiful little brewing stand, which is... I dug this out and I found light, and I was very, very surprised. So I'm onto something that this was a building, because that is very much pointing towards an interior. This seems like it might be roof, and maybe either the diorite is another level of this compression. So it's either the next level underneath this gravel for the sediment that fell, or it's ceiling, like, because they could have had beautiful diorite ceilings. So I have so much more work to do. Daskalos gave me, look at this thing. Look at this. This is huge. This is like twice the size, maybe 3 times the size of an actual trial chamber. He mentioned something about if it takes you a couple weeks or a month or something, and I'm like, maybe it will. I'm not sure, especially if I keep digging it with iron tools, but I am trying to be very, very careful and not take up too much stuff, because I am notorious for... Oh, hello, walls. Oh, look at that. I am very, very notorious for accidentally digging out suspicious gravel, and I'm very curious about that suspicious gravel. So maybe before I go to this next layer of getting rid of all this gravel, let's hop into creative for a second and get us a brush. Now, I kind of don't think that you can do suspicious gravel anywhere you want, so this might just brush away, but we will find out, I guess. Oh, you can. Okay. Oh, this brings up a whole nother... I do have to be careful then. I do have to be careful, because I could potentially lose things if I'm not careful with this suspicious gravel and just dig it out. And it looks like that's a glass pane, so I wonder if any of these others are. Any of these other glass panes? That's a glass pane. That doesn't appear to have anything, so that one might be okay. I also found these quartz pillars, and this is quartz as opposed to calcite, so that's a good... That's something else. So we have a whole different build here, probably, than what we had over here, because this is more diorite and calcite. Oh, I really want to see what all of this looks like, and obviously I have to get rid of all this gravel. So let me get to the next section here. I'm just gonna skip forward again so you don't have to wait on me to dig more stuff. I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. I thought it might be a little bit more enjoyable to see me actually uncovering stuff the second time around, so I decided to include it, even though I was just going to jump forward. We have a lot of structures to try to figure out in the next episode. I did make a map of it, because this is kind of phase 2, and this is, you know, there's going to be a big structure. I'll show you all of this in person here in just a second, but you can kind of see there's a lot of structures here. There's a structure here, couple here, a couple larger ones in here, lots more to the white structures. I started making notes on all of the different phases and what I did during the different phases, and we'll go over those near the end when I actually reveal this all to Daskalos and kind of go, okay, this is what I did in this phase, and this is what I did, and these. And I'm thinking it's going to take probably another couple episodes and then the reveal with Daskalos. So let's take a look at what we have discovered so far. I have left all of the suspicious gravels. I will be dealing... Ooh, I am back on creative again, so I gotta be careful about waving my arms around. I I'm going to leave those for next episode, so stay tuned if you want to know what's in these suspicious gravels. We discovered there was a little bit of a hiccup. Some of the suspicious gravels had what they were supposed to have in them, and some of them did not, so I'm not sure if Daskalos is going to come back through and kind of fix that or not. But we have a very large, like, maybe church complex with possibly a graveyard wall or at least a courtyard of some sort, so we'll have to figure that one out. This seems to be either maybe an open air pit, maybe a fire pit. I'm not sure. There's like red sand down in this one. I will really want to know what's in there because it could like give me my hint about what this thing was. This big structure had some awesome quartz pillars, like quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 8 pillars. And some of them had like these cool toppers, because this one has like a cool topper on it too. So I think we're gonna have to rebuild that. And I do think that this is all a part of one much larger structure, maybe a church, and maybe it was like the actual like or some other kind of very important building where they had all of this gold and fanciness down here. So we're gonna have to figure that out. There are these other structures. There's about 4 or so. There's this kind of mud structure, and I've noticed with these mud brick structures, they have like a deep slate foundation, and then this one had a deep slate foundation. That one has a deep slate foundation, and then this one. And then I'm not sure, but I think these two kind of fit together. So this is probably what he meant by the shape of the buildings. And then we're going to be looking at the actual layout. And I think what he meant with layout, he was talking about like these. So this structure here, as we kind of work our way further away from the big main white buildings, I noticed we had a very fancy like brick building that had some glazed terracotta and some terracotta. So that kind of points me to like a village, like the village, you know, masons and stuff like that. This may have been something where they were creating something to ship out. I'm not sure yet. And this one is yet another one of those like larger buildings. So these seem to be like a little more expensive, a little better materials. And then as we move our way out, we have the cobblestone area. And then this one's cobblestone and mud brick. And again, and smooth sand. Sandstone. Smooth sandstone in this. So there seems to be some smooth sandstone in here. So this one, I am scratching my head about this one. So, and unfortunately, all of this will be done before you're actually viewing this episode. So you can put your comments down below of what you think all of this is. I'm not going to be able, I'll comment back on them whether or not I think you're right or not, but in all fairness, I will not be taking your advice because I am not allowed to take anyone's advice, not even my comment section. So you'll see me struggle, and if you got it right by the end of the episodes, like I'm gonna give you a shout out by the very end if I have some people who came up with the right ideas. So if it's at the very end of the episode, once I've talked to Daskalos and we've had the last episode and we find out who the winner is, I will let you know too, because I think that it would be an awesome thing if you figured it out. But there's this one too, which also has the mud brick and the cobblestone, similar to that one. There's a lot of like items in here, so I'm looking forward to being able to find all that. This one, in my head, I'm thinking we might be stables. There's a lot of horses around here, but, you know, that's just my initial guess. This area here seems like a common area or like a communal shopping area, because there's like a couple furnaces here, so they were probably, you know, cooking. There's these little bricks that are actually like perfectly laid out in the center of these paths. And these look like paths. Now they're going to probably get grass in them. It'll be all grassed over by the time I get to building these. But I think these may have been path blocks. And this may have either been just like an open air thing, or it could have been like where they posted like a pillar with like wool, or not wool, but you know, like canopies or something along those lines. These seem to me, they scream to me like this area was probably all cobble on the ground, and then there was little shops, so little individual shops in each of these little stalls. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this wasn't a shopping thing. But I think if this didn't have these two furnaces here, I would be more inclined to thinking that these were stalls for horses or animals. But with those there, it just screams to me that this may have been like a shopping area. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this little dig journey into archaeology. I want to thank Daskalos and Harald Halfdan and MC Oda for including me in this project. This is really exciting. This is not something I normally do. I have not actually had any challenges except for a building challenge like forever ago, and this is completely different, and I am on my own, so hopefully this will turn out as well as I think it is. And I'm having fun. It's very enjoyable to be able to do this digging and this investigation, and it's a lot like Craftwork Season 2 in my first few episodes when we found the keep in the Great Hall. So instead of me creating the thing, like somebody else created the thing, and I'm having to read their brain and try to figure out what they were thinking when they built this thing. So that's really, really exciting to me too. Love you all very, very much. Give yourselves a hug from me. Do a little digging today and, you know, discover, explore, and create. And I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.